Hello everyone, my name is Iran Paul. I'm a passive income expert. I'm super excited to make this video because a lot of people are asking questions. Now their eyes are getting opened, and so they're asking questions like, how is it possible to create passive income streams when they are having so many distractions around them? They're not able to focus on creating passive income. They have all the resources, but they're not able to do the actual work required to make money. And the reason for that is quite simple. They know the reason, but they're not able to come out of the situation. And so it is fundamental for people to realize the importance of money in terms of survival, and how people have completely destroyed their life by not focusing on making money, and sometimes even end up taking their own life because they think that this world is free to live. They think like you don't have to pay to live in this world. Instead, it's a free life. You can live by handouts, by donations, by freebies from the government of the country where they're living. But in reality, nobody is going to hand you out anything. You can't expect handouts from strangers or from other people who are living in this world. You can also not expect inheritance money from your parents, because think about it, it's their money, it's not your money. So you have to figure out a way to make money by yourself, by using your skills, because skills pay the bills, and you gotta earn passive income. Because if you left it in the streets, okay, imagine the scenario, you're left alone in the streets and you have nobody else to help you out, then only money is gonna save you in this world, okay? Nothing will ever save you. If you make passive income, it will save you. But if you make active income, you will not have any money making while you are doing some other activity, right? So when you're left in the streets, your passive income will not betray you. It will still make money for you. But if you're doing active income jobs, then you have to search for another job to pay your bills. So unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about it. They think like they can live in a socialistic world, not a capitalistic world. So we can live off other people's sweat, blood, and tears. But in reality, if you want something in this world, then you have to earn it by yourself. You have to work to make money to feed your own belly. So it is not like people are going to give you food every day to survive for the rest of your life. But you have to understand, if something happens to you, you have to pay your medical bills, okay? Nobody else is gonna pay your bills for you. So don't expect handouts from other people. But at the same time, you also need to realize what other people are doing in their life. Observe what they're doing and just do the opposite, okay? Just observe how they wake up in the morning, how they go to the office and do the job as they hate, and they come back from office and then they numb with their distractions in the form of movies, songs, chit-chatting. They're basically introduced many ways to distract themselves from working, all right? So they want to make sure that they entertain themselves, and these entertainment companies are making billions of dollars from these people who are weak, broke, miserable, and poor. And they obviously want to mimic or replicate the lifestyle. These poor peoples, these hobos, they want to be having the lifestyle of the rich people, but they don't know the behind the scenes of those people who are already rich, what they do when nobody else is watching them. And so they end up in a situation where they are looking at successful people and thinking that they themselves will be successful if they follow the experts who are already successful, but in reality, they have to change their habits, they have to change what they do on a day-to-day basis in order to see the transformation take place in their life, because nothing is going to change unless you change something which you do in your life. And that change is only going to happen if you are surrounded with people who also want to change, right? If you are surrounded with the same group of people who also want to accomplish what you want to accomplish, then you will change. But on the other hand, most people are spending all of their time and energy with losers who are broke. So they remain broke and miserable because they're losing money every single day instead of making more money. So there are other groups of people who just spend immediately after making money, and they buy liabilities. They buy liabilities which will not make them money after making money. So they're investing their money in the wrong resource, and they think that they will make money out of it. But in reality, their bank balance is dropping every single day without they realizing it, because they're not measuring the progress of making money. And at the same time, they don't have any interest or passion to develop their skills. They're okay being average, okay? They don't focus on skill development. They don't focus on improving their skills with the time which they have. Instead, they're just focused on entertaining themselves, having fun, and then, losing money in the process of having fun. So it's like they're not making money in the background. So that's why I will say that passive income is going to really help you to spend time, quality time with your loved ones. It is also going to help you break from fear, depression, anxiety, because you're gonna make money every day, and that gives you a lot of confidence that you can survive in this world. And if you are getting older, your passive income is still going to give you like a pension or the money after retirement, so you don't have to worry about it. But the problem with a lot of people is, instead of focusing on improving their skills, they're focusing on making money from money immediately after making money. So they really have to invest the money back into building skills, which would help them to build high income skills, and then those high income skills are going to help them make more money than simply investing small amount of money every month. All right, so it takes a long time, okay, more than 3 or 4 decades to make a lot of money from investing small amount of money every month. But you don't have to do that. Instead, you can focus on improving your skills and develop valuable skills which are going to making money while you sleep, without talking to people, without talking to foolish people, obnoxious people, mean people, and you can avoid toxic people from your life by focusing on simply building skills and adding value to the marketplace, okay? So you have to create value in some shape or form, but you really need to exchange that value by marketing yourself, selling yourself, and letting other people know about the services which you're offering. But at the end of the day, I must say that after you die, you must have no regrets whatsoever. So make sure that you prepare for your death, okay? You can die anytime. And so after you die, what happens to your money? So you have to carefully protect your money which you make, because other people can steal your money after you die. So you have to figure out a way to use your money carefully and invest it in the right resource, because that is going to be really helpful. Because think about it, those people who are billionaires, when they die, their money goes to charity, okay, philanthropy. But if you are dying, where does your money go, and who's going to enjoy your sweat, blood, and tears after you die? So understand that you have to give importance to God, all right? So this is the Holy Bible, and I want you to read this because think about it. You're not going to take anything from this world, and whatever money you make, you're still going to keep it in this world and leave this world, right? So what's the point in making money? But still, you need to make money to measure your productivity, right? Making sure that you are able to utilize your time efficiently in the right activities. And so you still need to make money in order to measure the productivity of your life. But at the same time, you also need to figure out a way to understand that money is not everything in life, all right? So money is created by human beings just to make sure that the people who are willing to pay money are able to get the resource created by other people. So all the things which you find in this world is created by a human being to make money. But at the end of the day, you are still dependent on other human beings for your survival. But because of increasing population, because of increasing demand, and since the supply is less, you need to pay something to get something, right? So you need to pay for your life. And that is the system right now because of a lot of people. If you are the only person living in this world, then you don't have to pay to live in this world. You can grow your own food and you can make money, but still you have to pay to live in this world because a lot of people are living in this world, and a lot of people also want the same thing which you want. And so who's willing to pay more price to get that thing will get it, right? So not everybody deserves to get the thing in this world. So you really have to think about the fact that they've created money so that the people who are willing to pay to live are getting what they wanted, and the people who are not willing to pay, they don't get what they wanted. This can be things which are materialistic as well as non-materialistic things, alright? So people have created experiences as well, right? And people also have created skill, like education. So schools, institutions, universities are giving people education, and education is not something you can touch or feel. It is something that you have to develop. And so I honestly believe that if people are not making money, they're going to die, okay? So you have to make sure that you're able to make money to live for how much years you want to live, but your expiry date is not fixed, okay? Where you're going to die and how you're going to die and when you're going to die is not really fixed. So there is no guarantee whether you will die tomorrow or whether you will live for 3 more decades. But what we can guarantee is that we can at least use our time to do something productive, do something valuable, useful, helpful for the society. And so when we die, the society will look back at what we have done, and if it's going to be useful for them, then they will treat that valuable, right? So you will leave a legacy behind after you die. You should have no regrets whatsoever. So if you want to make sure that you live a life with no regrets whatsoever even after you die, then you must use your time productively in the right activity, which would be helpful for other people, all right, who are already living in this world, because they might need your expertise, they might need your help, they might need your knowledge or the invention which you have created. So you have to make sure that you create something which other people can use after you die. So that's why people who are already successful, they try to write down how they become successful in the form of a book, and they publish that book and people are reading the book. They write the book not necessarily to make money, but they write the book because after they die, their book will speak for them, okay? Their book is going to speak on their behalf. Similarly, whatever you put on social media is gonna last, as long as the platform exists. So people put a lot of content on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, Twitter. Like, we have a lot of social media websites, but these people who have posted the content back in 2010, their content is still available. So even they might die, but their creations are not dead, because it can be used by other people, and other people can repurpose it and create content out of that as well. So what I'm saying here is that whatever people have posted on the internet right now, it's there as long as the platform exists. So you really have to find a way to create the product once and make money out of it multiple times. And that's the real challenge here. How are you going to make multiple times income from the same product or service? So you really have to have a standard system of procedures, SOP, so that even after you die, people can replicate the trade secret of your product. All right, so you should have a unique selling proposition which separates you from your competitors, but at the same time, if you have a trade secret which other people don't know, then after you die, if you document it, then people can make use of that trade secret and create the product or service that you're offering. But at the same time, you really have to be careful, because you're making money for a reason. So you should know the reason why you're making money, and you also need to know what is going to happen after you die. But since people don't know about what happened to dead people, what dead people are doing right now, we don't know what dead people are doing now, but their dead bodies are there in this world, but they're buried sometimes, burned sometimes, there are dismantled bodies, but this is just human body, right? We are living in this world with human beings, and so human beings are living in this world, but they're forced to make money, they're forced to live in this world, even if they do not want to live in this world. So if you're someone who really is forced to live in this world because of your parents, because parents gave birth to you, and you are forced to live in this evil world full of diseases, sicknesses, illnesses, crimes, full of fraudsters, gangsters, cheaters, scamsters. If you want to avoid all of that, then it is recommended that you stay away from these toxic people, all right? Because they will lead you into the path of darkness, destruction, evil forces. And so it is recommended that you make money by yourself instead of depending on a corporation or a job. Job is going to be for people who are living from the 1950s or 1960s, okay? Because for them, job is the mode to make money. But right now, you have multiple ways to make passive income streams, not active income streams. So active income streams are going to go away in the future because of automation, artificial intelligence, and we don't need a human being to do repetitive tasks mindlessly. We need human beings to solve problems, complex problems, which a computer or AI is not able to solve. So that is, with artificial intelligence, I believe that you can make passive income easily. You don't have to show your face or talk to people, or you can be anonymous. Nobody knows what you're doing, but you are going to make millions and millions of dollars. And that is possible if you are able to invest all the profits that you're making back into your business instead of buying liabilities like a car or a phone. I mean, if you're using the car to make money, then it's an asset. But if you're not using the liability to make money, then it becomes a liability. And people also get into the trap of getting married, okay, buying a human being, okay. Buying a human being is also a liability because you are going to want to have that money to take care of that human being. And if that human being is not going to make you money, then what's the point of getting married, okay? It's a liability. It's not an appreciating asset, it's a depreciating asset. So it is important for you to understand that getting into a relationship is based on feelings and emotions, and it's totally against business, okay? In business, feelings and emotions shouldn't come into the way. And so those people who are married are broke and average. just like everyone else. So do not get married if you plan to get or make at least $1 million, all right, or more, because at the end of the day, marriage is kind of like a distraction. It will pull you away from focusing on your business. And if you marry, then marry someone who is going to feed you for a long time. So pay your bills, keep the lights on, marry someone who's extremely rich and successful, and who has good personality, good character, good behavior, and is religious. But I doubt that you would find anyone like that. But I obviously believe that if you really want to be successful, then you have to focus on building high income skills which are going to make money for you in the long term. And it's only going to happen if you are doing those activities which are going to make money. If you are doing some other activities which are not going to make money, then it's going to be difficult. Okay, folks? To be honest with you, there are a lot of people who are just wasting their 24 hours which they've given. I mean, this 24 hours is the same for every human being, but they're just wasting it. They're throwing it away on all of these distractions which are created by other companies to make them money, all right? So you are basically directly, indirectly, funding these big companies, and they're making millions and millions of dollars while you are losing money. So if you are losing money, they are making money. So it's like zero-sum game. And so you really have to understand, if there is a winner, there must be a loser. And you can only have one winner in a running race, right? So one top person, but they have 1, 2, 3 positions, but you really have to focus on being the number one person in your field. And so if you're not making passive income, then you are falling behind. You're just being like everyone else. And so if you end up being like everyone else, then you will get what they get. So you won't get anything else other than what they get. So you haven't clearly differentiated yourself from the rest of the other human beings. And so they are also human beings, but they are going to do other activities, but you don't have to do the activities which they are doing. All right, so you have to clearly understand why you're doing what you're doing and whether it's going to make you money or not. And if that activity is not making you money, then stop doing the activity. All right, so it's all about making sure that you are able to generate a net positive income every single day when you live in this world. All right, so if you're living off somebody else's money, then you are going to lose money every day. But if you're making net positive money, then you are going to be able to live confidently without worrying about when you're going to pay your bills, because you can pay your bills automatically because you're making passive income. All right, folks, so it's gonna be involving a lot of dedication, devotion. You need to be perspicacious about your decision. You should have attention to detail and good concentration to be able to do this. But at the end of the day, you should have tenacity, because think about it, you have to do something repetitive over and over and over and over again for years, okay, to see the results. So it's not like you're doing new things every day, but you have to train yourself to endure for a long time, because nobody's going to hand out things to you. If you die today, then you should die peacefully, satisfied and happy, right? You should die with fulfilled life. You shouldn't die just because of your friends or family members or other people, because think about it, they're broke. They're not making that much amount of money. So if you get advice from broke people, you're gonna be broke. So you have to take advice from people who are already successful, already rich, who are billionaires. And if you observe the lives of billionaires, they're really solving complex problems. And these problems are problems of rich people, all right? So if you solve the problems of a billionaire, you are going to be a billionaire. But if you solve problems of common people who don't have money, guess what? They're not going to make you rich. You don't have to solve problems which are very small, which is obvious, and you can't expect yourself to make millions and millions of dollars by solving those problems. But you really have to think about problems which obviously are faced by rich people, and if you can solve their problems, you're on the right path in order to be rich, wealthy, and successful. But at the end of the day, you really have to preserve your wealth. It's not going to happen immediately, and you got to be patient and consistent as well, because think about it, not everyone has all the qualities to make money, but if you have all the qualities and if you are on the right path, then you will be able to get what you wanted, because God is also watching what you're doing, right? Human beings might not watch what you're doing, but God is watching, so God will give every man the reward according to their own labor. That's what this book says, alright folks? So if you read this book well, you will understand that God is going to give every man according to their own works. So if you're not willing to work, you don't deserve to eat food, alright? So you have to first work, do the work, and then eat the food. And if you are not going to do the work, then you don't deserve to eat food, and you deserve to stay broke, okay? Because you're not working. So you have to first do the work in order to earn money. You have to earn the money by yourself. Don't wait for free monies to grow on trees, alright folks, because what you sow, that you reap. So if you're not willing to sow the right thing, you're not going to reap the right thing. And it has been proven over and over again from different people who are already living in this world and who have already died and left this world. But unfortunately, we live in this world, but we have to live, no other choice, but we have to understand what is going to happen after we die. But we really have to figure out a way to make money as long as we are living in this world. So it's going to be helpful as long as you're living in this world. So I hope that you're able to follow the information, get the results that you wanted, because results are more important. You can do all the work which you want, but if you're not getting the results, then you're walking in the wrong direction. So you have to walk in the right direction, get the right results. And if you want to see the transformation take place in your life, then you have to put in the effort consistently every single day, and you have to have that tenacity to go and persevere till the end, the persistence to stay dedicated in spite of failures, hardships, reproaches, mockery, shame, or anything that happens to your life. You should never stop doing something that is important, because if it needs to get done, then it should get done, okay? No matter what distraction comes into the way or takes you away from staying focused, you really have to stay focused no matter what. So if you can do that, I wish you all the best. Go ahead and accomplish it, because if you don't do it now, then you're gonna regret later, okay? So if you really want to make passive income, then go to abrahampaul.com, because I'll be able to help you out. And also, you can make money without talking to people, okay? Don't rely on a job. That's just one source of income, but you can make money through multiple other ways, so that you are able to get the freedom and independence, and you're able to do things which your boss in your job is not able to do, all right? The boss might be distracted, but you are not distracted. You are dedicated, you're focused, you're determined, so you will get what you want. So you don't have to do things which your boss has asked you to do. Just do the bare minimum and then get out of the place, because that is not something that you can treat as your family, okay? This company is there to generate profits. Now, if they're not able to generate profits with your resource or help or support, then they're gonna fire you. So you'll have to work for yourself. So either work for yourself or work for somebody else, but it's better to work for yourself instead of working for someone else. And some people like working for someone else, but that is all dependent on people. All right, so if you're someone who wants independence, time freedom, location freedom, people freedom, and financial freedom, then you have to be willing to work for yourself. And it takes a lot of effort in the beginning, but once you've automated the process, then people are working for you. All right, so you don't have to worry about it. You just have to manage your business, maintain it. Money starts flowing every single month without much effort, because you've created passive income streams which are going to be making you money while you sleep, while you're doing something else. You don't have to worry about it, right? So that's the advantage, but many people don't know about these advantages, and so they end up relying on only doing a job, just over broke. And you can only be so much wealthy doing a job. A job is never going to make you rich, wealthy, successful. And all these successful people in this world are all business leaders, business people, and entrepreneurs. And so if you really wanted to be successful among the top 0.1% of people, then you have to be willing to do what the 99.9% of people are not willing to do. And that takes a lot of courage, a lot of determination, and you must be willing to resist what other people are saying. You have to say no to other people, all right? So you have to have that courage to speak up for yourself, stand up for yourself, and you have to be assertive, because people are broke, okay? And so you want to be making money, so you have to follow the advice of the legends who are successful in the business. And you really have to take their advice and stop taking advice from broke people who are average, okay? It can be your family members, it can be your friends, it can be your parents, but your parents, if they're not rich, then it's time for you to prove them wrong by doing something which they have not done in their entire life, so that you can get things which they have not got. All right, folks, so it's gonna be taking time, it's gonna take effort, but you have to be patient to see the results, okay? Results is not gonna happen immediately. You have to follow delayed gratification. People want instant gratification, but it's not gonna happen if they want to make money. Making money is a patient process. You really have to stick around till the end and reach the finish line, and you have to persevere till the end. So for that, delayed gratification is required, not instant gratification. But at the same time, you also need to read the Bible, folks, because this is the truth. Every other book in this world is just kind of like a subdivision of this book, because they've extracted all the information from this one. So you have to focus on getting the right information from the right source, which is reliable, which is trustworthy, which you can believe, all right? People believe in lies. People believe in, lies, but just because majority of people believe in lies, they follow the lies, all right? But you have to follow the truth, and the truth is only possible if you verify it, if there is a proof, there is evidence for every information. So ask yourself, if there is a proof or evidence, is it universally acceptable to follow this thing or not, right? If you're not having any proof or evidence for the information, then you shouldn't trust blindly or be brainwashed by the society, because society wants you to believe in all these lies, garbage lies. And they've created these lies just to distract people from believing in the truth. And so you have to focus on believing in the truth, but you have to ask yourself whether the information which you're believing is truth or coming from the right source, all right? So you have to verify that, corroborate it, and then finally believe it. And so passive income is not gonna happen immediately if you are getting into those rich quick scams, okay? Get rich quick scams which people have devised. There are scamsters, fraudsters, abusers, gangsters in this world. You have to be careful in dealing with all of them. And these people, their job is to scam you, deceive you, fool you, and deceive you into all these lies as they say and promise, all right? And these get-rich-quick schemes are created to destroy your life, and you will end up being emotionally, mentally drained and physically exhausted if you're following their advice. But do not follow evil advice. Follow only advice from God, from the right source. Only God is the source of all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You have to believe in God, and if you believe in the right source, I would say your life will be far much better than anything else. Because think about it, most of the problems in this world is created by human beings because they have created the problem, all right? And these problems could be completely avoided, completely eliminated. But they themselves have created problems, and then they're going to the doctor to repair their problems. They're going to other people to repair their problems instead of trusting in the right information from God, all right? So they trust in human beings, so do not trust human beings. Human beings are just very weak, miserable, poor, and you have to trust in a supernatural being who is God, because God is the person who is much more powerful, much more capable, and much more intelligent, wise than human beings, okay? So it requires a lot of patience to follow the instruction, but you have to be a doer of the instruction instead of simply consuming and reading. You have to implement and see the results take place in your life. And so for that output or the results to come into your real life, you have to take action, and action doesn't happen by itself, all right? You have to automate it, you have to use AI, you have to learn the latest technologies, and you have to make sure that you're able to completely do the work which is required by automating the process, all right, of doing it. And it takes time and dedication, but if you're persistent, I would say you'll get the result that you wanted. So I wish you all the best. If you have any doubts, or if you have any hurdles on your way or your path while making passive income, then let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to help you out and solve your problem, because I will give you personalized, customized advice or solution for your problem based on the life which you are living, all right, so that you can see the transformation. But the information which is available to the public is all generic information, all right? So if you want specific information, you can contact me, and you can email me, shoot an email, and I'll be there to help you out and solve your problem, so that this problem is not repeated again. You can solve this problem permanently if you're willing to sacrifice some of your part of your life to do the right things at the right time to get the right results. So I wish you all the best. Go ahead and do that, and you will see the transformation take place in your life. And let me know in the comment section about whatever lessons you learned from this video, and I'll be so much happy to help you out. Thank you so much for watching this video.